Hi, hello, my guys, gays, and purest of phrase. Little known fact about yours truly is I love making magical girl story, and I have a lot. Like a lot. Each of which I have said little to nothing about on the internet. Mainly because my brain is just constantly coming up with ideas, and if that sounds so annoying. It's like my brain is just like so busy coming up with like these amazing ideas. That's mainly because my brain is just constantly coming up with ideas. If I tried to make actual quality art of every single idea, I think I'd go completely insane. So some of my ideas, I just resort to keeping them to myself and fulfilling my love and creativity for them by pretending I am in the story every day for an hour or so and basically make believe I am inside the anime / cartoon / sometimes regular TV drama, which also works as a good healthy dose of depersonalization. What were we talking about? Magical girls, right, sorry. I figured it was about time that I had a magical girl group that belonged to the people, that I could share with my audience and actually have real designs and art and not just be like in my head for once. So when I set off to do this, the first thing I wanted to do was establish a theme, because even though my personal favorite magical girl show has no overarching theme for its team, I do really like it when they do have a theme. And oh my god, when I was trying to brainstorm an idea, my brain would not stop going, ooh, oh my god, you know what you should do? Planets. Do planets. That'd be cool. Oh my god, imagine celestial bodies. Oh my god, okay, wait. I have an idea. Do space stuff. Can you imagine a magical girl group inspired by planets and stuff? It already exists. It's probably the most popular magical girl show ever made that defined much of what the genre is today. Please shut up. So almost immediately after that, I had another idea that I don't think exists that I thought had legs. Food. And then I thought, different foods, like an egg one, a chicken one, a spinach one. Don't know why those are my examples of foods. Then I remembered something that I, and hopefully all of you, learned back in elementary school.
The ancient pharaohs were not too bright, they say, but they made one contribution that I live by to this day. It's the food pyramid, and it's approved by the USDA.
So I decided to go with that. In this video, my head hurts. In this video, I'm gonna just break down the ideas I have for each of the characters and bits of the story, and if this does well enough, I will do a part 2 talking more about villains and the magic system and whatnot. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and be sure to beg me in the comments to make a part 2. You have to grovel, or I won't do it. Now, without any further ado, allow me to introduce my food-themed magical girl team. Jumping into our first girl, who, by the way, these characters don't have names, so if you have any ideas for any of them, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you so much. So anyway, this first girl, who I will call Pink for the rest of the video, she's the main protagonist, and her food group is sugar, or fats. It's kind of different on each pyramid you look at, but I found it as sugar on one of them, and that's what I built the lore around, so tough nuts, it's sugar. I'm gonna explain her design and then her personality and stuff, and then lastly, her powers. So basically with her design, I wanted to go very ornate and complicated, very classic magical girl design. I haven't fully figured out how it's implemented in the story, but the design of each girl is based around their own level of imagination. And Pink is a very energetically imaginative character who also loves anime and good design. So I think she would ham it up when it comes to thinking up an outfit. Besides that, I really had to walk a thin line between beautiful and corny with these designs. I wanted to try and include the actual foods in the design, but I also wanted to avoid it looking very millennial, very Disney adult looking dresses. You know the ones. So I got a Pop-Tart looking thing in on the apron, which I got in there because baking, you know, and I also made the hair look like cotton candy, which I'm very proud of the hair. It's very cute. It's good. I like it. As for her personality, Pink is very anime protagonist coded. She's bubbly and energetic, likes making friends and stuff like that. She also loves comics and corny action anime and stuff like Power Rangers and things of that nature. Although she's read dozens of heroes' journeys, she's surprisingly unprepared when it comes time for her own. She's clumsy, irresponsible, and overall negligent when she first gets her powers at the beginning of the story. But what frustrates her the most when beginning her career as a magical girl is her inability to control her powers. Hey, let's talk about those powers, huh? Maybe I should have started with the powers, because undoubtedly the most interesting part of this concept is the group's powers are based on the freaking food pyramid. So okay, in order for this to work, I decided to think really hard on not only how the food groups are used in cooking, but also in nutrition and how they affect your body. The latter will come in later with the next character. But for sugar is used in pretty much everything. It heightens pre-existing flavors and adds sweetness as well. Wheat is fine by itself, I guess, but throw in some sugar and boom, you got cake, which is infinitely more cool and slay. So, the way I see Pink's powers working is that her main power is to fuse and strengthen the other's powers into an instant KO massive attack, but only if the person she's doing the attack with and herself have a strong relationship. Because, seeing as this is a magical girl team, I felt the need to attribute attributes to the team, like this is Smile Precure or something. And because sugar is sweet, as well as brings people together in a way, Pink's attribute is love or friendship or something. Typical Pink magical girl shit, you get it. But going back to the instant KO move, the first one she's able to master is the one with her best friend Blue, who we'll talk about next, was the dairy elemental. Is that together they reel back Pink's very big spoon and launch this absolutely massive scoop of ice cream at their opponent, and like I said, instant KO. Pink calls the move Scoop of Justice because she likes dumb corny shonen animes and steals the naming conventions of them and applies them to everything. Speaking of the spoon, in the lore, for reasons I don't want to delve too much into, Pink is meant to be the leader by like the little mascot critter that I don't talk about at all in this video, like for part 2. So she has a kind of OP, very important weapon. But more importantly, speaking of the spoon, in the beginning, because she has such a weak grasp on how to use her powers, she for a while just uses the spoon as a blunt object to beat the crap out of her enemies. Next girl is Blue. Again, she doesn't have a name, so comment if you have any ideas. Okay, so Blue. We're not going to include the speed paint for Blue for 2 reasons. Number one is towards the beginning of the drawing, what was originally going to be her design I discovered would be considered haram. I was negligent in not doing literally the bare minimum of research before designing a hijabi character, and for that I apologize. And second reason, she is the milk elemental and her power that we'll get into is milk. The milk I drew looked like something else. That's why it blue here. It made me uncomfortable when it was white and it was weird, and I imagine it make other people feel weird. Now honestly, I could have still left in the speed paint. I didn't want to risk someone taking them out of context, and yeah, I know like 5 people watch my videos, but someday it'll be more, so. But still, I think looking at this stagnant image for too long would be boring, so let's speed through Blue. Blue is Pink's best friend since childhood. They don't enjoy much of the same things, but still take part in each other's interests because they deeply love each other. They're like bonded at the hip kind of besties. Blue is into like romance novels and stuff of that nature. Blue is kept to herself but not shy. She has no issue snarkily talking back to Pink or standing up for herself, but in general, she's the type of person that likes to fade into the background while Pink likes to stand out. So becoming a magical girl is kind of a reckoning for her. She finds herself in a position where she has to stand out like a lot, and it makes her very uncomfortable. Her arc is also about like she's very proficient at most everything she tries, but this like poses a actual challenge for her. Her design is simpler than Pink's because, you know, the whole standing out thing, and I really just focus on the flowiness of milk. I don't know why I made her blue. Obviously I gave all the characters one main color because magical girl, and while for the other two I have very clear reason why I chose their color, blue just made sense to me for this one. Okay, so Blue's powers. I honestly don't remember if she's defense or healing or both or something. I know her thing was based on how like calcium strengthens your bones, but making my mind up right now, she has magic milk that she makes float around, and she can use it to heal fractures and things. She can use it as a projectile to temporarily stun, or use it as a shield of sorts. So yeah, basically waterbending, it's waterbending, but milk, which is worse. Honestly, I think there's more room for exploration and development with her power, and I feel bad because of how well thought out and like developed Pink's is in comparison, so we'll get back to it sometime. Okay, last character for this video. There are others in the group, but unfortunately I really started to rush on this video, so I didn't have time for the last 2 team members. So if you enjoyed this video thus far, leave a like, a comment, and maybe subscribe to let me know you want a part 2. Okay, anyway, our third character is Protein, and as I'm sure you'll see in a bit, she has the most practical and least magical girl-esque design. That's because unlike our prior 2 character, Red is an adult. She's in her mid to late 20s and has been magical girling since she was around Pink and Blue's age, around 15. Basically, without getting too deep into it, There's a bit of a massive crisis looming on the horizon that sets Red off on a journey to unite this team to defeat it together. Red is very practical and serious and tired. She doesn't like working with other people, probably because of some traumatic backstory or something. But for a good chunk, it's just her and the girls we just talked about. Remember them? I don't know if this is clear, so I'm gonna over-explain it. Like, a good amount of the story, it's just the three of them. There's like, the other characters don't come in for a bit. And because Red's an adult and been doing this for a while, she reluctantly but inevitably takes up a mothering and mentor type relationship with the girls. Oh no. A mentor character? I sure do hope nothing bad happens to her. But yeah, her personality really just boils down to tired. She's been doing this a while and her patience is low. Okay, and back to design. Her design, as you can tell, is mostly red and white. You know, for like red and white meats, protein, you know. But also, I made a white square on her boxing gloves to be a representation of tofu. Yeah, vegans, this one's for you. Also, I said before, she has the least magical girl design of the group, and it was actually a little too little magical girl, and the design felt boring to me, so I just add some magical girl-y diamonds on the pants and made the part of the top that turns into the flowy ribbons in the back into a wrapped thing, because I don't know, that reads very magical girl to me. Also, again, off script, I think these characters really would have benefited from a full turnaround, but I was trying to finish this. So, and as for her top, when doing the original very doodly pass at the design that you see in the corner, I went back and forth on making her top look like bacon wrapped around like a bunch of times, but decided that that was just a tad corny. But I tried again to just put in a beef texture, just make it look like a pretty pattern, like maybe smoke or something, and it worked out pretty well. Last thing I'll say about the design is these gloves. I made them massive because I thought it'd be more interesting, which is cool, but what I regret with this final design in comparison to the very doodly one is that I took away the spikes and they were cool. So so Red's powers, it's not really as complicated or interesting as the other two we covered today. Protein is what you eat in order to repair and build muscle. She is strong. That's it. However, her special attack with pink, which I imagine in the show being like this big moment of Red finally like accepting her role in the group and acknowledging how much she cares for these girls, maybe at like point where Pink was separated from the group or something. I don't know, just spitballing. But anyway, their special attack, dubbed by Pink, is Protein, Powder, Punch. Basically, it's a kind of sandstorm attack that makes it impossible to see, and then the two of them appear behind you and boom, KO. Okay, that is gonna do it for today's video, you guys. Sorry if it's a bit messy, or you could feel its rushedness. End of the year is slowly but surely creeping up. So I'm very busy, but wanted to give you guys 2 real substantial videos before I'm gone for a little bit working on a big end of the year video, so stay on the lookout for my other real substantial video before that happens. In all honesty, this video barely scraped the tip of the iceberg of the story, lore, and a bunch of other stuff I've been thinking up for this story. So let me know if you want a part 2 to this down below, and also give me name suggestions. Oh, and also, if you have any questions regarding this story, please ask away. As well as introducing more of the characters, I think another great way to talk more about this story would be a good old Q&A. So yes, I'm gonna end this video here before I go on too long. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. And if you liked anything you saw, consider subscribing and following me on my art Instagram, but no press. All that being said, I hope to see you around these parts again soon. Bye-bye.